はじめまして、高橋でございます。I'm pleased to have the opportunity to present my findings today. So please allow me to read from the draft of my paper. From the standpoint of intellectual history, I will report on the findings we have made using the Japan Biographical Database JBDB. The aim of this presentation is to gain insight into the actual situation of how Rai Shunsui, the domain scholar of Hiroshima, used Confucian text. Shunsui played an important role in educational administration. He is also known for his contributions to the reform of the academic system at the Shoheizaka Gakumonjo, an educational institution under the Tokugawa shogunate. In the late 18th and early 19th centuries, Shunsui played a prominent role in Confucian scholarship. An analysis of the content of his scholarship and teaching will contribute to the study of the history of Tokugawa Confucian thought. The primary focus of this presentation is to demonstrate the utility of the JBDB for conducting keyword searches. Since the database contains the diary of Rai Shunsui, a search allows us to determine the specific Confucian text that Shunsui was using at the given time. I conducted the search using the names of several well-known Confucian textbooks. The results of each search provide insight into the specific ways in which Shunsui used Confucian texts. The titles of the books I have researched this time are the four books: Shisho, Great Learning, Doctrine of the Mean, Analects, and Mencius, and the Shogaku, the main text of the Shushi school. We will begin by examining the search result for each of the four books. The search covers about 2 decades of Rai Shunsui's diary entries, from the Tenmei to the Kansei era. A search for the keywords Great Learning returned 88 results. A total of 73 results were returned for the keywords Doctrine of the Mean. A total of 145 results were returned for the Analects. A search for Mencius returned 112 results. A review of the data indicates that the Analects are different more frequently than the Great Learning and Doctrine of the Mean. However, there are many things that cannot be known only by the amount of search volume. However, due to time constraints, we will not be able to present the result of our search for the four books in detail. Accordingly, this presentation will focus on Great Learning, Daigaku. When searching for Great Learning, it is important to note that the result may include the book Expanded Meaning of the Great Learning, Daigaku Engi. The next search for the book Expanded Meaning of the Great Learning returned 19 results. This book is a Confucian text on cultivation written by the Southern Song Dynasty scholar Zen Shu. The book provided instruction on scholarship and politics based on the principle of great learning. In other words, the purpose of the expanded meaning of the Great Learning was to educate the monarch. Shunsui students for the expanded meaning of the Great Learning course was Asano Narikata, the son of the feudal lord. A review of the schedule of lectures for the expanded meaning of the Great Learning shows that they were held mainly between the first month of 1790 and the and the 8th month of 1791. This period was a year later Narikata's coming-of-age ceremony known as Genpuku in the second month of 1789, marking his 5th birthday. In other words, Shunsui's lectures on expanded meaning of the Great Learning were designed to educate Narikata, who had recently reached the coming-of-age ceremony, on how to become a suitable candidate for the future feudal lord. In general, there is a substantial body of literature of commentaries on the doctrine of the mean, the annex, and the measures. However, the search result yielded few records of Shunsui's use of these commentaries. In contrast, the expanded meaning of the Great Learning is a frequently documented reference. This is a clear indication of the importance Shunsui attached to this text. Previous research has already identified Shunsui's use of this book in educating the child of feudal lord. Additionally, Shunsui's use of expanded meaning of the Great Learning is evident in his diary records in Edo titled Edozume Hikae. However, the precise circumstances surrounding Shunsui's reading of this book with Narikata remained unclear. We were able to confirm that he gave ongoing lecture immediately after the coming-of-age ceremony, which was a new discovery for us. In my research of JBDB from the perspective of education for Asano Narikata, I also noticed another characteristic. It is remarkable that the book Shogaku has a high number of hits and that it was used at a certain time. First of all, Shogaku is the initial text for beginners in the Shushi academic system. The Shogaku text was designed as an introductory course to the 4 books of the Great Learning and was intended to be studied by children. Rai Shunsui also placed special emphasis on this text Shogaku due to his expertise in Shushi studies. A keyword search on JBDB for Shogaku yielded 230 articles in which Shunsui discussed Shogaku. This is a significant number. A review of the dates shows that the period of use can be divided into 2 distinct phases. In the first phase of the 2 period, 170 instances, or 70% of the total, are concentrated in the 5 years period from 1784 to 1789. The majority of the search results concern lecture given Asano Narikata. A review of Edozume Hikae reveals that he did indeed give a lecture on Shogaku to Narikata during this period. On 12th month 1789, he noted that the Shogaku program has concluded. From that point forward, the reading of Shogaku was temporarily discontinued. The period from 1784 to 1789 corresponds to the age range of Asano Narikata, who was between the ages of 10 and 15 during this time. The following year, he commenced delivering lectures on the expanded meaning of the Great Learning. Lectures on Shogaku were resumed in 1800. The aforementioned details illustrate the significance of Shunsui's emphasis on the fundamental reading sequence of Shushi and his focus on the education of the sovereign to the feudal lord's son, Asa no Narikata. We have thusfar revealed the reality of Rai Shunsui's education of the son of his lord. As evidenced by the findings of our research in JBDB, is there a correlation between the aforementioned characteristic and the educational curriculum of Hiroshima as conceptualized by Rai Shunsui? We will address this point at the end. Subsequently, Shunsui played a role in developing the educational curriculum for the domain school following his appointment as a Confucian scholar in the Hiroshima domain. The document was titled 教授局記上. This refers to educational regulation of the Han school. However, the curriculum itself is not particularly distinctive and is based on the standard Shushi educational curriculum. Accordingly, the introductory book Shogaku is regarded as a vital reference. Upon review of 教授局記上, it was noted that the expanded meaning of the Great Running has been included in the list of required reading. Shunsui deemed the text as a requisite for the education of a feudal lord, a fundamental component of the Confucian curriculum. From this, we can see that the Shunsui policy of educating the lord and the domain school was closely linked. As a preliminary conclusion, the JBDB provides valuable insight into the actual status of domain education, which has been difficult to determine with precision. It should be noted that Shunsui's curriculum extended beyond the Shogaku and expanded meaning of the Great Running text. The information presented here is only a part of the whole. However, it is possible to highlight noteworthy aspects related to clarifying the reality of such education and the comparative study of text used to analyze Shunsui's educational philosophy in the past. The JBDB offers a valuable opportunity for this. Thank you for your attention.